Yes, after having ulcerative colitis for about 20 years, I started to have some, started losing more weight at the end, and then as I was having some other difficulties, it seemed like there was something going on in the body. I didn't really have any pain, but I had a urinary bladder infection, which I'd never had in my life, and so we went and had that checked out. The doctor said, "Oh, you just have bladder infection," so I got that checked out, and so for a month he gave me antibiotics instead of doing any other research on this, and then I said there's something really wrong because we're having this continued thing, and he said, well, let's have a checkout. So they did a sigmoid as well as a CAT scan on that, found out that there was a tumor mass there. At that time I had gone down in my weight to about 98 pounds, and then they decided, well, at that time they might be able to get the tumor out because it was located in the colon, but then when they did the March 15th of 2005, when they did the surgery, they got inside and they said there's just no way because it had spread across the dome of the bladder and into the pelvic region and then metastasized to the liver. So they just showed me back up, put an osteotomy on, because they had to do something so it would not have blockage of the colon, which would be extremely painful and was already going different places. And then after that time, of course, having to fast for the surgery and everything else, I was down to about 89.9 pounds. So starting a very thin situation like that, and very weak in condition. I didn't even know if I'd survive the surgery, but God was gracious, I did. And then we were in the hospital for about 5 days, and I was able to get out after that time. And then they said they would start chemo about a month later. Well, it didn't seem like there was much hope to survive chemo because what it does to the body and all the side effects, especially when you begin to lower weight, because it takes a lot of calories away from the body. It caused disruption in blood supply and all the different things it does, side effects it has. But just about 2 days after I did the chemo, started the chemo, we went out to a place with a friend, and my wife had talked with her earlier in that day, and I hadn't gone to the service because I was not feeling well. And she said, "Hey, you've got to meet this lady." So I went to the meeting that afternoon, and we had a go-away party for some people, and she sat down beside me, and Jeanette Shepard's her name. She began to share with me Immunocal and what it does and how it works in the body and things it can do to benefit the body and maintain it. And so I looked at that, read it over, research saw that it was clinically proven, and began to start it right away. And I immediately started to feel the change because my energy started coming back the first week. This was after they'd already done CA test, which is a blood marker test to find out how advanced the cancer was and how aggressive it was in the body right at that time, and that was 538. Well, that's way higher than the 3 or below that's normal. And so as we started, it looked like everything was pretty aggressive and it was going to take a lot to do things with it. But with Immunocal protecting the body and doing the chemo, within the first month it had dropped to 50. The CA test, which was a miracle. The second month it went down to 13, and the third month it was down to 6. And so, I was beginning to function just like a normal person, not feeling, I didn't even look like a chemo patient. I'd go in and they'd ask me, who's taking chemo, you or your wife? Because of those things, and I didn't lose my hair, and the blood test stayed normal, which was very nice. And I didn't have to have blood transfusions and platelet count, all these different things that they would have to give. And of course they were preparing you for all these different side effects that would happen and all these things. And I was able to eat normally, and within that first week it was amazing, the difference in the energy level. The body began to repair itself, and then from then on it was just an uphill situation. The body was just going forward instead of going downhill, which is a real blessing.